Imagine how much you'd save if you could run your car on water with just a little petrol added. An Auckland car enthusiast says he's found a way to do just that and has a working prototype to prove it.
It looks like a normal car and it drives like a normal car, but this Nissan is anything but.
Can you fill it up, please? Water.
Water? No, we can't sell water. We'll only sell petrol.
For the past 5 months, the car has run on a mix of petrol and water, creating an unusual byproduct. The steaming sedan is the brainchild of Graham Jenkins.
Everybody's always known that.
And everybody is looking for answers to the price pinch at the pumps. A local auto body shop claims to have the answer using hydrogen. KGUN 9 On Your Side's Dan Spindle finds out, does it work?
This may look like your ordinary 4-cylinder engine, but what you can't see may surprise you. Don DeLong and David Hargrove didn't invent hydrogen fuel technology. In fact, the concept isn't new at all. As early as 1807, more than 100 years before Henry Ford's Model T, engineers and inventors were trying to power a vehicle using hydrogen. So why aren't the roadways flooded with hydrogen-fueled cars?
It's dollars. It boils down to dollars and cents as far as I'm concerned.
And it's not just about the cost of the unit itself, about $1,200 installed.
Nobody has figured out yet how to charge us taxes on something that's absolutely free, or how to charge us for producing what we're doing right here, right now.
Here's how it works. The hydrogen generator uses water, an electrolyte, and an electric current to produce the gas that's injected to make your engine run cleaner and more efficient. To prove they actually are producing hydrogen, watch the bubbles pop in the bucket of water. This is the power, they say, that can fire up your car to get between 15 and 50% better gas mileage.
This is not a fly-by-night thing. This is not a gimmick. I mean, you know, it's not magical, and it took a lot of experimentation.
Charles Proctor is one of a handful of customers who has had the generator installed. Over a 4-month time frame, he's gotten a 13% increase in fuel economy on his 14-year-old pickup. But that's not the main reason for the switch.
My real motive for this is patriotic. I really think that this is something that's good for America. I think we need it.
I've had people stand and tell me you can't be doing what you say you're doing. Well,
and what they are doing is creating a buzz for an alternative fuel source, and for that, we give it an A. They say hydrogen is the fuel of the future, but time will tell if this will catch on as an international phenomenon. If you've got a product you want us to test out before you buy it, let us try it. Dan Spindle, KGUN 9, On Your Side.
Well, it has been a beautiful night, no matter how you spend.
Two green car enthusiasts claim they've cracked the code to cutting carbon emissions while also saving you money. Their homemade hybrid technology makes fuel go further by adding water.
After years of tinkering and testing, these two Melbourne mates believe they've beaten the big car companies in the race to cut carbon. From the street, it looks like any other car, but a flick of the switch and it's hybrid. The mechanical mastermind behind the idea says he's driving down the cost of commuting while most motorists are under the pump.
You put $100 in, you save 20. It's as simple as that.
The simple secret, converting water into oxygen and hydrogen vapour, which when mixed in the engine makes the fuel go about 20% further or more than a third further with diesel.
Essentially, we improve the combustion of the engine, so we're able to burn more of the fuel that's already there, giving the driver better mileage and a cleaner emission. So it's a win-win.
They're already running a lawnmower on nothing but the precious drop. And hope a petrol-free future isn't just a load of hot air. What started as a backyard dream is fast becoming a booming reality. The pair already taking hundreds of orders from drivers keen to cash in on their big idea.
Very exciting to be at that point.
Sounds almost too good to be true. A Fresno-based company is using basic chemistry in an attempt to beat high fuel prices.
Hydromotion says its hydrogen generator helps burn every last drop of gas or diesel that you put in your tank. CBS 47's Tony Body shows us a local trucking company that's giving the product a shot.
It's a hydrogen generator, and it gets its charge from regular old mineral water.
It's going to sit here. It's holding about 16 right now.
The way it works is pretty simple.
it creates hydrogen from water by separating it with electrolysis.
In other words, it takes the H out of H2O. The hydrogen combines with diesel to completely burn every ounce of fuel in the system.
People are leery of alternatives like this because they believe you're burning water. You're not. You're burning the components of water, elemental forms of hydrogen and oxygen.
And Mark Roberts of Hydromotion says maintenance is a breeze.
The only thing that you have to worry about is when the light on the inside goes out, you need to put more water in the blue tank.
The generator costs $7,000. A Price Truck Company owner, Jim Gandulia, is willing to pay, considering he last spent $38,000 to fill the storage tank at his yard.
If it saves me 15%, that's $7,300. I'll save $7,300 per tank of diesel any day of the week.
Gandulia has 25 trucks, which average 7 miles a gallon. This unit is designed to improve his mileage by 20 to 40% and reduce emissions.
If I can get 8 miles per gallon, I'm a happy camper. Like I said, if I can get 15%, I'll put them on everything.
It could take Jim 3 months before he sees any change in his fuel mileage. That's because the hydrogen generator needs that much time in order to clean out all of the carbon buildup that's accumulated inside the truck's engine. In Fresno, Tony Body, CBS 47 on your side.
Hydrogen generators are also available for cars and pickups at a cost of $1,200.
Meanwhile, in tonight's gas price watch, local gas prices continue to drop. How about that? Here's a look at the nationwide average. Right now it's at $4.02. That's down 2 cents from just yesterday. In California, regular unleaded now $4.39 a gallon. Here in the valley, higher still, unfortunately, $4.42 a gallon. As always, to find the best gas prices here in the valley, log on to our website, which is cbs47.tv, and then click on gas prices. You'll find that on the left-hand side of the page.
$4 this week, but experts say they could reach around $5 later on this summer, even by Memorial Day. ABC 6's Walter Allen is live outside of our studios now with a cost-saving item you can install in your car, Walter.
Yeah, Bob, it's called a hydrogen generator, and it goes on your engine right here. We're told it increases your gas mileage, but we brought in our car expert to make sure it's the real deal.
They're hovering right around $4 a gallon right now, putting on about 400 miles a week. Expect to go up to $5 by summer. About a little over $40 to go ahead and supply that for a week.
So instead of wasting a lot of oxygen on complaining,
it needs to resurface and come back again.
Steve Conroe is splitting oxygen and hydrogen away from water with a hydrogen generator he installed on his car.
Electrolysis means you're using electric current to go ahead and split water molecules back into 2 parts of hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. So all that white that you're seeing is the hydrogen being split right now.
The hydrogen goes into the air filter and helps the engine burn the gasoline cleaner.
Gone up to 50 miles per gallon, which is a 20% increase.
Increase your gas mileage by 20%? Well, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. So we opened it up to our car guy to see if it's legit.
So what does it do now? What's the O2 sensor? Shooting in like a nitrous oxide would? Is that a Nerf football down there?
Yeah, it is.
How often do you refill it? Where do you buy hydrogen? How about temperature?
After a thorough inspection, Dan Boots Longinette says he likes the idea.
I love it.
You say, Boots, you sold?
I think I am.
Now, Conroe tells us that after watching a do-it-yourself video on YouTube, it took him about 4 hours and $40, but it was easily installed. Boots says it's not for a beginner mechanic. You need to know what you're doing and also make sure you're not in violation of your warranty. For now, we're live outside our studios. Walter Allen, ABC 6 News.
Oil prices at record levels and rising prices at the pump. Fuel protests in the nation's capital. It's not an easy time to be running a haulage company. This HGV does more than 10,000 miles a month. The company uses an onboard computer system to monitor everything the driver does.
And that basically tells us the MPG, tells us the driver grading, how the driver individually drives the vehicle, from acceleration through to brake, how much pressure they apply on the brake, how much pressure they apply on the throttle, even to the point of how many pedal movements they carry out on the throttle.
But these lorries have also been fitted with a device that injects hydrogen into the fuel. It can reduce CO2 emissions and improve fuel economy by as much as 10%.
by adding a small amount of hydrogen gas to the air that would normally be combusted. So in the combustion chamber you've got fuel, air and a small amount of pure hydrogen, which promotes a quicker, cleaner, more efficient burn of the fuel that's available.
Despite it costing almost £4,000, haulage companies seem convinced of the financial benefits.
We started with 6 units, and if I actually continue the rollout over my entire 20 vehicle fleet, we feel that that'll earn us something like £75,000 saving in a calendar year.
I think hauliers, like car drivers, are looking for every possible means of saving money, and it's very encouraging that here in Kent we've got this bit of innovation which is certainly worth looking at, and I think that drivers of any commercial vehicle ought to be interested in seeing what the prospects are for fuel savings as a consequence of this bit of kit.
And with diesel costs the biggest single expense for hauliers, anything that reduces the fuel bill is worth a trial. Mark Norman, BBC South East Today, Sittingbourne.
Denny Klein fires up his hot new invention. His machine emits a flame that feels only slightly warm to the touch. But watch what happens when he touches anything else.
Instantaneously, I can burn a hole right down through the center of that brick.
The flame instantly turns hotter than the surface of the sun. Heat so intense it takes only seconds to literally burn a hole through charcoal. 3 seconds turns a brass ball to glowing liquid metal. Tungsten lights up like a sparkler. Steel, lead, and other metals slices on contact. Yet the tip of the welder stays cool to the touch.
No other gas will do this.
Denny Klein uses an alternative fuel source once thought impossible. He says people still have trouble believing him when he reveals his liquid fuel.
Water. Take water and electricity, and we break it down through our very unique electrolysis process.
Klein has just patented his process of converting H2O to HHO, producing a gas that combines the atomic power of hydrogen with the chemical stability of water.
It turns right back to water. You can see the water running off of this.
Klein originally designed his water-burning engine for cutting metal. He thought his invention would replace volatile acetylene in welding factories. Then one day, as he drove to his laboratory in Clearwater, he thought of another way to burn his HHO gas.
On a 100-mile trip, we use about 4 ounces of water.
Klein says his prototype 1994 Ford Escort can travel exclusively on water, though he currently has it rigged to run as a water and gasoline hybrid.
Simply speaking, it can change the world by reducing our dependence on fossil fuels.
These are equivalent to our... Pete Dominici is helping Klein take his hydrogen technology patents from a 2-room office in Clearwater to consumer markets around the world.
You know what? Microsoft came out of nowhere, came out of the garage. Why not Hydrogen Technologies?
The duo is already in negotiations with one U.S. automaker and the U.S. government. Their plans have grown from basic welding with water to powering the entire world from the safest and cleanest fuel on Earth. Craig Patrick, Fox News.
Members of Congress recently invited Denny Klein to Washington to demonstrate his technology. Now his company is currently developing a Hummer for the U.S. military that can run on both water and gasoline. So far, his water-powered engines have passed all performance safety inspections, so all systems appear to be go right now and gives new meaning to the term running water.
You just have to hope that water prices don't go up.